Hello everyone. Today we are going to take a walk up Lothian Road. It's been a little while since we just took a walk up a road, and I realised that I haven't really explored the West End, West Side, West End, Princess Street, Central Edinburgh sort of thing. So this seemed like the ideal place to start. So we are right at the very West End. This is the end right here of Princess Street, West End of Princess Street. And we're going to head right up here. But if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button down in the corner. It would be absolutely amazing if you would subscribe. It would mean the world. Thank you very much. So just before we get started here, you can see right there in Princess Street there's a lot of work going on in this building. This used to be the Fraser's shopping building, Fraser's store, but now it is getting turned into a Johnny Walker experience. Johnny Walker has bought the entire building and they are turning it into a whole visitor centre, visitor attraction, which is going to be very exciting, but they're a little while away from opening that up. But here we are, bottom of Lothian Road, and the first thing we see, the Caledonian Hotel. Beautiful Waldorf Astoria Caledonian Hotel, so there you go. It is a stunning hotel. I've never really explored the inside of it. Once when we were younger, me and my friends tried to go into the bar sort of there and then realised it was way out of our league and massively more expensive than we could afford as young 20-year-olds, so that was about the only time. But it is a beautiful hotel, and this is Lothian Road. I mean, look at the size of it there. I mean, it's a beautiful entrance there, but it goes quite far back. Now, a little bit of history again, but fairly recent history. Over this side here, there used to be a train station. Edinburgh used to have an internal train station that had little stations all over the place. One here, a couple in Leith, another one on Princess Street, another on Easter Road. And for reasons best left to the people who made the decisions at the time, they shut it all down. This good little, as far as I'm aware, it's before my time, internal rail station, rail network that, you know, you could get you about town quicker. Not quite a tube service or an underground service, but definitely an overground service. So that was, you know, unfortunately something we don't have anymore. I think it's a real shame. There's nothing we can do about it now. Some of the routes still exist and they've turned into bike lanes now, bike routes. So there is that, which is good. But a little internal railway line, it's a real shame they got rid of it. It's a real shame. So on the left hand side here, we have been in there a little while ago with 3 more little stories of Edinburgh. The old St Cuthbert's Kirkyard there. That we pointed out before, the old watchtowers, so that the resurrectionists wouldn't be digging up graves. Now, just to give you some reference, the Edinburgh Castle is there. The back of Edinburgh Castle is just behind here. If I tuck round, you'll see it start to emerge. There it is up there, you see it? And if I go down that road and round, that'll take me to the Grass Market. So there's a nice little link there. Princess Street, just past St Cuthbert's, straight to the Grass Market. If you're, you know, trying to get your bearings. But this is the way we're going today. There's lots of nice places to eat on Lothian Road. There's a few pubs, a couple of theatres, so it's definitely an area of town that is not to be overlooked really. Wagamama's here if you like your noodles. Kirsten is a big fan of Wagamama's. She likes all the noodle dishes. They have a lot of vegetarian options for her, so on occasion she will take me in here. So here we go, our first pub we're up against. Red Squirrel. That looks nice. That looks lovely. See, I don't really hang out in this end, so this is a nice little time for me. Look, there's me. Hi. Let's have a look. Breakfast served till noon. Smoothies and juices, light starters. Squirrel classics. Alright, so bangers and mash. So it's just classic food, not classic food with squirrels in it. Now, a couple of nightclubs here, or at least Club Tropicana. If you're into your 80s retro, there you go. Again, I have long past my days of going to nightclubs, and but that actually looks like a nice little pub there as well. Bada Bing. So that's Club Tropicana and Bada Bing there. And this is now a Wetherspoons. Now it's called the Callee Picture House. It has been many things in my lifetime. I think, don't quote me on this, I think it was a cinema at one point. I remember it in my youth as Century 2000, which was a nightclub. It then became the Picture House, which used to have a lot of live gigs in it till not really that long ago, fairly recently, and it's now owned by Wetherspoons, and is a Wetherspoons pub. So nice and easy, quick food, and you know, quick service, quick food, and it's standard pub food. This former live music venue closed after a farewell party on the 31st of December 2013. The Grade B listed building was originally the Callee Picture House, which opened on the 1st of January 1923 with a silent film, Game of Life. So I was right, it was a cinema. In 1928 the building was enlarged for the new Talkies, with an imposing entrance block added at the right hand side, 31 Lothian Road. The new block, with its large stained glass window, was converted from a temperance hotel. The original cinema was a partial conversion of the County Hotel. The site of both hotels is marked on the 1876 OS map as a single property. The commercial hotel and tavern, which is also recorded on the map of 1846. The last picture show at the Cali was in 1984. The landmark cinema became a nightclub, named the Callee Palace, renamed Century 2000, that's what I remember it as, and Revolution. Oh, I've got a vague recollection of it being Revolution as well afterwards. The building later stood empty for several years until it reopened in 2008 as the Picture House. Now, it was a great music venue. And this is something that Edinburgh is severely lacking, live music venues. They're being closed down, which is a real shame. I saw Stephen Lynch, the singing comedian, in there a couple of times, and he was brilliant. Some proper good names are played there as well. It's a real shame it's not a live music venue anymore. Edinburgh is struggling for that. Next up, we've just got a selection of, you know, coffee houses, Caffè Nero, and just a couple of little shops here. Hitting another hotel here as well, so the Sheraton Hotel here on Lothian Road, and that there, I don't know if you can see because of the bus, Brewdog's pub. Nice little pub, been in there a few times. Brewdog is a Scottish brand. It's a lovely, 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 makes some lovely beers. But if I turn round, if I swivel very slowly, then we get to this beauty right here, the Usher Hall, Concert Hall, which is it's a beautiful venue. Haven't been in there for a little while. The last thing I saw in there was Billy Connolly, actually, which was a few years ago now. That was his most recent stand-up tour that I saw in there, and the only time I've ever seen him live, actually. And then there's the Traverse Theatre as well, and then just round that corner is a Lyceum Theatre as well. If you want to know more about these theatres, I did do a little guide to Edinburgh theatres, so I'll leave the link to that in the corner, but that shows you how to get to them now, nice and easily. I can still see Princess Street, that's it right there, so we're not very far up. And we've got Usher Hall, Traverse Theatre, Lyceum Theatre, boom. And as always, in a theatre district kind of area, lots of restaurants to eat before the theatre, pre-theatre meals. So there we go, there's Nando's. Nothing wrong with a cheeky wee Nando's. And then on the opposite here, the FIlmhouse. Now the FIlmhouse is worth a video of its own, really, but it is a beautiful little spot. It's a lovely little cinema, and it's more than just a cinema. I would say it's almost an institution, and it's well worth a video on its own, but I'm not going to go into it too much right now. I think I would love to make a video about the FIlmhouse at some point. If you don't know what it is, please do look it up, have a little read about it, but it's a beautiful little spot. And here we are, more pubs, Innocent Gun, and a kebab shop. That's a very posh kebab shop. So there we are, right after the Usher Hall and the Lyceum and things. It's a lot of restaurants, because that's what I said, restaurants and pubs for pre-theatre food. So there's, what's this place called? Topola Bamba, nice. And then the opposite side, let's cross over. We've not crossed over yet. We have bread and meat, we have Black Lizard. I wouldn't get food there, I'd maybe, buy sunglasses or glasses, probably more likely. And Bar Italia Ristorante. Me and Kirsten's mum ate in there a few years ago. One of the best Italians I've had in a long time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't believe I crossed the road and missed this. I've got to go back. If I can cross without getting run over. Still fairly early in the morning right now, so the traffic's not too bad. Rush hour's passed. Oh, I should say, did I say already? Just in case I haven't said, the date today is the 6th of November 2019. and it's currently sitting about 5 degrees Celsius, so it's getting chilly. Autumn as well on the way. The colours and the trees and things are beautiful right now. Wonderland Models. So if you're into your model making or toy making, definitely a shop you want to head into. I went through a short period in my youth of enjoying making models. I do mean a short period, I think it lasted about a year. I think every young lad has to go through a phase like that at some point, don't they? Well Dog Pizzas and Grills. So you've got a big choice of different places to eat here if you're looking. Lothian Road's definitely got a large selection. Run a manger, run for it, running shop. I bought running shoes in there once. When I got into my phase of doing half marathons and things like that, I went and got proper running shoes. You know when they did the test where I had to run on a treadmill barefoot and they measured what my feet were doing and said, these shoes. Personally, I didn't notice any difference from the other shoes I was already wearing, but I did it. And then next up we have bar burrito, Mexican foods. So there you have it. From just there, that's that building there. That is the end of the block. Just after that is the theatres. So that's like 5 or 6 nice food places, restaurants even, that you want to go. The old Odeon cinema. Now I have a story about the old Odeon cinema. When I was younger, when I was but a child, and everything was in black and white, I remember when you wanted to go see a film in the cinema, you didn't just, you know, look it up on the internet and see what time it was showing at your local multi-screen multiplex. You had to look up which cinema it was playing in, because there was 5 or 6 or 7 cinemas, the Odeon, the Dominion, all these sort of things, but they all had different films on. So it was a case of trying to see which cinema that was in, and then going to see it there. You'd have to go to that cinema to see that film. Not every film would play in every cinema. I'm sure some of you remember this. When I was a kid, and this is one of my earliest memories of going out with my dad. I love this story, and this is really a nostalgia story for me. We came here to see E.T. and it was busy. As you can imagine, it was busy. It was on in one screen and the queue was down the road. The queue was out the door and down the road to see it. So what they would do is they would come along and they would count. They would count the people along as many seats as there were on the screen, and they went, right to you. The rest of you are going to have to wait until that show is finished, and then you'll be in the next one. I don't know if anyone can remember this, and I don't know how often it would happen with popular films, but I can remember me and my dad queuing on here somewhere, and the guy coming along and going, yeah, 25, 26, 57, 58, whatever, and then he got to me and my dad, and then about 2 people after us, 2 groups after us, went, right, that's it, the rest of you are going to have to wait. I was young then. I don't so much remember going to see the film, but that moment of standing here with my dad, standing in the line with my dad, I remember that. So yeah, Odeon Cinema, right there, right beside the subway. Oh, there's a Greg's. It's way too early. It's way too early for me to have a sausage roll. It's only 10:30 in the morning. Way too early. Absolutely. Well, there's another point of reference from Odeon here. If you head straight that way, just straight, just follow that road opposite the Odeon, that again will take you to the grass market there. So just another point of reference if you're travelling about and you're trying to get about. So let's continue on. We're almost at the end of Lothian Road. It's not the biggest road in the world, but so we're getting more into a little bit more local sort of shops and things, because remember, that's people's houses, that's flats up there and things, so it is a residential area as well. So pub, chemists, you want your keys cut or your shoes fixed, there you go. You want to go to Timpson's, noodles and rice. I mean, you've still got places to eat here, but on the other side we're definitely just into normal shops, you know. Oh, that looks like a nice little bistro sort of thing there. If you need to top up your tan while you're here, there you go. Some of you might enjoy that. Technically, that's the end of Lothian Road right here. So that's just made it all the way up to Lothian Road. But again, if you head that way as well, that'll take you to the grass market as well. So yeah, so you can see from here, from Lothian Road, almost any way you leave Lothian Road on that side will take you to the grass market and back to central town. So it's nice and easy for you in case you think you're going to get lost. A wasn't going to go up further, but I am going to finish that. Just a little last part there. There's lots of these beautiful big buildings here, and this one at the end of Lothian Road here is just stunning. I don't know the history of it. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you more about it. That bus is really helping me here. But I mean, look at the detail on the window there and everything. If anyone does know the history of this building, then please do tell me. I am guessing, going by the central, there used to be a main sort of entrance to it there, round about where the suntan's shop is. Suntan shop? I'll just go in and buy a suntan. But yeah, that makes me feel like that was a nice entrance there in the centre. I think it's, I don't know if it's just flats or if it's a hotel. I genuinely don't know what it is, but it is a beautiful, big, stunning building, don't you think? Even though this is actually Earl Grey Street we're going on now, I'm going to count it as just the end of Lothian Road. So again, like I said, there's a lot of sort of financial things here. You've got Lloyd's Banking Group here. And on the other end, it's back to just being your local kind of shops again. There's a spa, dentist, Salvation Army, a little supermarket if you're in the area and you just want to go in and get bits and bobs with a pint of milk, packet of crisps or chips, the chocolate, bread, you know all the things you buy in a supermarket. I don't need to tell you these things. I'm sure you're very aware of all the things you get in a supermarket. You don't need me. You don't need me. Actually, you can see we tend to repeat ourselves there. There's another chemist and then there's another supermarket. So we are tending to repeat ourselves a little bit in the shops. But the reason that I want to just finish it up here is just to give you a little bearings here. I just wanted to finish it off kind of here. This is where I had in my head that I want to finish off, because it splits off into 3 different ways there. If I head that way, straight up to the left, well, I would say that's fairly central. Straight up there, that'll take me to the Meadows. If I head up that way, sort of more Tollcrossy sort of area, heading up towards the King's Theatre, which is a beautiful theatre, and that way I'm heading back towards the centre of town, the other side, along the side of the Meadows, and you'll kind of get to the back of the museum sort of thing, and heading towards where Underbelly and Edinburgh Uni and things are. So there you have it, guys, just another little, it's been a little while since we've done a little walk along the street. Lothian Road's a nice little street. I've realised there's a lot of little areas over the West End and some of the areas a bit central as well, but we've not actually just taken a walk and had a look along the streets, and it's been a little while. So I hope that was fun today. For those of you who joined on the live feed that we did a few days ago, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. We're going to do it properly again soon. That was kind of spontaneous. We're going to do it again. I'll give you all a heads up what it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. Hope you'll join for another live feed. As I confirmed on the live feed as well, t-shirts are coming. Okay, they're being designed right now. T-shirts are coming by peer pressure from you. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there, guys. If you haven't already, please give the video a like, leave a comment if it brings back any memories. I know there's a lot of expats and things that watch the video, so if that brings back any memories or you know what those buildings were, please let me know. And also subscribe if you haven't. We're growing steadily and slowly, and it's just a nice gentle pace, which I'm really enjoying. But please do subscribe, come join. But till next time, bye humans.